Good morning, everybody. Happy Sweet 16. I am 16 weeks pregnant today. I've got a whole bunch of little random things. I'm just gonna start throwing things out there. So this week, symptom-wise, I was mostly good. I mostly had more energy, felt better. My stomach was pretty good. I did have 2 bad mornings and 2 bad evenings. Whatever. I feel like at this point, my belly is just growing at like an alarming rate. I feel like up until this point, my abs were kind of like trying to hang on, and then all of a sudden they, like in the past week, have just gone, oh yeah, I know what this is now, and just like completely given up the ghost. So I'm just like exploding all over the place. It is cool, but it's a little scary too. So check it out. Right? Something I don't like about this pregnancy so far is that I cannot feel this baby move. With Alice, my placenta was posterior, was at the back, so I felt everything. Alice was super, super active in utero, and so I just felt, from pretty early on, I think from 14 weeks, I felt daily, regular movement from her, just constantly. And try as I might, I've had a few moments of, well, I think twice, maybe 3 times, I don't know, of just really small movements that I've noticed, but, even when I've really tried to like focus and just lay down at the end of the day and try to get the baby to move and kind of like poke around and stuff, I'm not feeling anything. So I don't know if that's placenta being in the front, it's just a mellow baby, which could be a good thing. I checked the heartbeat with the Doppler, so I know things seem to be okay. But I'm starting to look forward to the anatomy scan that'll be in like a month's time or so. At 15 weeks and 1 day, I woke up in the middle of the night and I was having a Braxton Hicks contraction. My uterus was just like rock hard for probably a minute and a half. And I know that at this point that is only being dehydrated. I think that particular night I had tried to not drink a whole lot before bed because I've been waking up on average twice a night to pee, and that interruption in your sleep cycle is just really hard to kind of deal with. So I think that I was trying to hold back and not drink so much later in the day, but obviously I need to. I just need to just suck it up. And I do, I feel thirsty. It's warm here, so I need to be drinking more. That was sort of like my little wake-up call to really pay more attention to that. I've noticed some breast changes this week, sort of, again, like all of a sudden. I think there were just like these subtle changes going on, and it just wasn't enough to really notice, just like with my stomach. It wasn't enough to notice until suddenly this week. I don't know. But I have noticed that my breasts have my areolas have gotten bigger. I think my breasts are bigger in general. Maybe it's just time to throw Mike a bone because he's been dealing with all this like less positive stuff with this pregnancy, so maybe that's for him, I don't know. But I've also noticed them getting like more veiny, when you can see more veins just through your skin, which I've always thought, so I think that grosses some people out, but to me I always think it's kind of cool. It looks like a tree, it's like tree roots or something. Other things this week, my favorite foods have been mango, melons, we've been having honeydew and watermelon, and the thing that's really saved me this week has been Malt-O-Meal. That's sort of like cream of wheat or farina, I think it's all the same. It's like a wheat porridge, one of these like, processed cereals that's enriched with a bunch of stuff. I've been way turned off oatmeal, and that's something that we like eat together as a family on the weekends, but for some reason I can just stomach the Malt-O-Meal so much better right now. And I think it's partially like a comfort thing because it's something that my mom made when I was young, but it's just super easy on the stomach, and when I can't eat anything else this week, that's been what's satisfying me. I learned from my close friend here that is 11 days behind me in pregnancy that she tracked down the yoga instructor that I used to go to when I was pregnant with Alice. She's at a totally different studio now, and she started going to her classes, so I'm really excited to be able to do that with my friend, and again to like reconnect with that instructor because I thought she was great. However, when I took the classes before, they were $8 a class, which is pretty reasonable, and now they are $14 a class. So I don't know how. My plan right now is to hold off until much later in the pregnancy when I really feel like I need specific instruction about, aches and pains and stuff that I'm having. So far, I've been able to just kind of do my own routines and feel great. Mike and I are going to meet with a doula on Saturday in a couple of days and just kind of talk about our options and kind of pick her brain a little bit about midwives that she's worked with. I'm just curious to kind of get another opinion. I will report back next week how that goes. I've been trying to spend more time thinking about what I want to make for this baby. Looking ahead to the summer, one of my goals is going to be to make something. So I made Alice a really simple quilt. It's inside right now, so I can show it in a future video if you haven't seen that or you want to see what it looks like. It was my first time making a quilt, and I had a friend help me. Very, very simple. But honestly, it's not something that we use much because my mom also made Alice a quilt. A friend's mom made Alice a quilt. We've had a lot of like crocheted blankets come into our lives, so I don't feel like any kind of blanket is needed. And my mom is going to make this next baby another quilt, so I feel like I don't want to go down the quilt road. But I want to come up with something special that I can make, that I can kind of get excited about and put the energy into, you know, ahead of time and make specifically for this child. I made Alice a couple of sweaters, I made her a couple of hats and booties and that kind of stuff, crocheted, which is something I could pretty easily do again, but I don't know if that's enough of like an heirloom, you know. I'm trying to find something else that isn't necessarily something that this baby's just going to grow out of and then never see again, but something that will really kind of, you know, stick around and just be like a token kind of object of, you know, mom made this for me before I was born. So if anybody has any thoughts along those lines, I don't want to have to like really learn a new skill necessarily. So if it's something involving sewing or crocheting that I can pretty easily wrap my brain around, that would be best. But like I said, I want it to be something special, something I haven't quite done before, but also something that'll be useful. You get it. This was generally a pretty positive week. There wasn't like one particular thing that stood out as my best thing about the week. So what I will say is that I have started working on making an attitude change that I think will really benefit me, just in general and also in regards to the pregnancy. So I know that as time has gone on, we have lived where we live now for about 4 years, and the honeymoon's over, sort of. You know, there are little things that have started to sort of bug me that didn't bother me before, like the novelty of the temperature, the heat, has definitely worn off. When we moved from Alaska, it was one of the things I was most excited about, that there would be warm weather here and warm nights, and even in Alaska in the height of summer, it would be chilly at night. It would be in the 50s or 40s, and you'd be wearing sweaters and jackets and stuff. And I always dreamed about just being able to wear a dress at night or go barefoot, feel comfortable and be outside. And so the first couple of years, I was all about it. Honestly, I don't remember ever complaining about the heat. You know, even if it was 100 degrees, I remember thinking like, oh, how awesome is this that I just get to wear a sundress and sandals all the time. I spent just a ton of time outside, and I really, really enjoyed the heat. But things have changed since then. And I know it's hot, you know, it's already over 90, and it's only going to get worse. This is going to be a hot summer. I'm going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be a challenge to, you know, stay entertained and active and comfortable. But I really want to change my attitude about that and focus on the positive and, you know, enjoy some of those things about it that I really do enjoy. So the things in the past week that I have been able to appreciate sort of with this renewed perspective. As a family, we've been eating almost every meal outdoors this week, and that's been really nice. It really feels like a different thing. It's just refreshing, and it feels more special than just sitting it down at our regular table. We are lucky that there really aren't many mosquitoes here, really not a whole lot of bugs in general, and it's pretty pleasant. As long as there's shade, you know, it is nice to just be outside and have the fresh air. The other thing is that nights, like after the sun goes down, the night is absolutely beautiful. It is the perfect temperature. When it finally cools down, it'll be in like the low 80s or the high 70s. Mike and I will just sit on the front porch and read or talk, listen to music, and we watch the bats fly around, and it is really super pleasant. So one of my goals this summer is just really going to be to focus on the positive side of being here in the summer and the things that we can enjoy about it, and try to keep the negativity down. That's everything I've got. I'll see if Alice wants to say goodbye here next to me, and I'll see you guys next week thank you all for watching and for commenting. It is just killing me that I have had such a hard time getting back to comments, but I promise I'm working on it.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye, kiddo.
Bye, 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 bye.
Hi, kiddo. You show us your ponytail? Your rare ponytail?